Good afternoon, everyone. Let me call to order this meeting of the West Palm Beach Community Redevelopment Agency. Today is March 4, 2024, and the time is 4 p.m. We will go to item 3, comments from the public. So we have a card from Ari Fixler.
Good afternoon, Ari Fixler from the Holocaust Museum. Unfortunately, the work that we do today, as you're aware, is extremely critical and urgent. We hear it from many cities, we hear it from Tallahassee, and fortunately, many of those individuals have stood up and realized that this is now the top of their list. We have a vacuum here, you're aware of that. The deficit that exists here. And we appreciate the efforts we're seeing for some half-baked efforts, lack of a better word, to put up exhibits, to perhaps even bring in a boxcar. Let me remind you, as far as boxcars are concerned, there was nobody that rescued boxcars. Instead of, it was my group actually, from Slovakia, that put a stop to boxcars, to the deportations out of Slovakia for over 2 years. And that translated later into Hungary and to other places. So I'm the last person, unfortunately, that we should be lecturing about boxcars. You wouldn't do this for a science museum. You wouldn't do this for other museums. What we need here is the high caliber education that we see around the country. I remind people that LA, just the last month or two, gave $50 million. I'm not saying that's the kind of money you guys have, but cities around the country, possibly around the world, put this on top of their list and don't put roadblocks. This is a message I personally heard from Tallahassee. People are surprised. Many of you on this dais have seen my exhibit. You know the depth that at least we tried to do with our short-term exhibit. Even that doesn't exist here. So I strongly urge you from this podium, part of the groups that you've seen here in the past, some of them are cancer survivors. They don't say that on the mic. And the last thing I want to do is keep bringing them and keep bringing Holocaust survivors on wheelchairs in the last chapter to relive. This is something that resonates within the community. Everyone understands the caliber that we need here does not exist. So please rise to that occasion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Darren Studstill.
All right. Try to be short and quick. Darren Studstill, 401 North Rosemary. Just want to say happy day to everyone. Have two things on my mind, and I'm excited because I call myself an old vet of the Northwest neighborhood, a 14-year vet. My anniversary will be on Wednesday, so I'm excited about that. What I'm not excited about some of the incidents that's been happening in the Northwest as reference to crime, shootings, and break-ins. My neighbor a week ago, he has a nice truck that I want, he was broken into. He was very upset, and I thought it upon myself to come down and talk to you guys. As being leaders, we have to step out and being uncomfortable. 10 years ago, we had the same situation. We had a lot of incidents. What we did as a neighbor, we came together. We started a neighborhood association, business association, talked to the churches. We came together, and we started to have events. I was one of the grandfathers of that. On Tamron Avenue, we started our first event, and we had it continue. That alleviated some of the pressure. I'm asking for this board to do that again. Things are happening right now. We act like it's rocket science. It's not. Let's bring the community out. Let's be stronger as a community and bring everybody to their porch and let the negative activity know that we're not going to stand for that. I'm asking you guys because it has to come from a collective body of you guys. I had one more thing, but I lost it there. But I'm just going to ask you guys. I wanted to congratulate you guys from the prayer vigil on Friday. I walked from that at New Bethel down the street where we just have the lights. It makes a huge difference. I talk to people at 9 o'clock at night walking from there to Cityside, and it makes a huge impact on our community. But we still have 3 to 10 more streets to go. We got to get those lights up. We got to get more activity in the Northwest. I have this thing of lights, cameras, and actions. Okay, let's get it all up because right now other people are coming in our neighborhood, and we want to make sure this negative activity goes somewhere else. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Now I'll turn to comments from the board members. President Warren,
I have no comments, Mayor.
Commissioner Lambert,
No comments, thank you.
Commissioner Ward,
No comments, thank you.
Commissioner Fox,
No comments.
Commissioner Peduzzi,
No comments, thank you.
and I don't have any comments. Mr. Ruger, are there any additions, deletions, reorganization of the agenda?
No, Mayor.
All right, we'll now turn to item 6.1, presentation of the Winter in Paradise event.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, Mayor, and everyone here. I'm Ansley Lacey. I am the marketing manager for the CRA, going on 7 months now. So we had my first event was Winter in Paradise, but it's the 7th annual Winter in Paradise event in the Historic Northwest. So today I'm here to recap that awesome event. Just to start out on our marketing efforts this year, we really pushed this out in every way, shape, or form. One thing that I did want to comment on this was the outreach was specifically targeting the neighborhood. So we really wanted to vamp up that marketing effort. So we did double amount of yard signs. We sent out postcards to every resident, business owner, anywhere that was in that radius. And we hand-delivered flyers to different organizations and really try to push that out to the community members that way. And flyers were also sent home with the students around the neighborhood. So there was no shortage of activities that evening. If you were there, you could see there was a lot going on. Just a few highlights of the evening. We had performances by UB Kinsey and Faith Place Drumline, a holiday lighting ceremony led by CRA board members. Thank you for that. And the marching parade, probably one of my favorite moments, from the Palm Beach Lakes Marching Band. They came from Rosemary, and they marched all the way to the Historic Northwest to Heart and Soul Park, and I had chill bumps the whole time. It was remarkable, brought a lot of people to it, so something that we do want to repeat. And one of the highlights of the night, we have a new art installation in Heart and Soul Park by Miss Nikisha Durrett. And it's a Genius Loci right in front of the Sunset Lounge, so you can go and check that out anytime. And we had the unveiling for that. One way that we really tied Winter in Paradise back to CRA projects was we had our Styx Promenade outreach taking place at this time. We reached out to all different types of businesses to attend. We had the doors open to each of those lots that evening so that people could walk in while they're attending the event. And one really cool thing, we had these folders so that they could get all the real estate information, they could learn about the proposal, what we were looking for, and how to contact us. But this was the first time we had a vendor market at one of those events. We had 17 vendors. We were originally going to cut it off at 10, but we had such a great response. We invited them all, and of those, interesting fact was one of them submitted a proposal for the Styx Promenade. So now we talk numbers. So for our event attendance, I wanted to compare it to last year, where we had 350 attendees. And this year, we had 900, and that's because we ran out of hot dogs, and we had 1,000 of those, so I gave a little cushion room there. But I think that's a great, great testament to the community coming out to this event and all the work that everybody's put into it. And then on the bottom right, you can see the whole crowd that followed the performance at Rosemary Square and followed them to Heart and Soul Park. It was moving. So with that, a question that the board has asked for previous events, what are we doing with that? What are we doing with the people that are attending those? So we noticed the Winter in Paradise event has a stronger attendance of residents compared to Barbecue Brews and Blues, where we have a lot of visitors. So, I'm not sure, sorry. We had detailed surveys. We had Mr. Greg Eaton with Eaton Cake bring some cupcakes to incentivize those surveys. So we sold out of surveys and cupcakes. So we wanted to highlight Mr. Greg. And with that, we had 76 detailed surveys on CRA projects, and we had 200 new newsletter signups. So a few of those questions highlighted here. How do you feel about the current redevelopment projects taking place? And over 70% were positive, very positive, or mostly positive. I don't know why that keeps popping up. And then which CRA projects are you familiar with? Most said Heart and Soul Park, and I do believe that is because of the activation, like Mr. Darren was speaking of. Oh, I have to keep it. I have to keep it. So with that, the detailed surveys, just a few more notes on that. What businesses would you like to see? Most said restaurants and bars, and followed with retail. And then, are you interested in learning more about opening a business in the historic Northwest? And the blue right there will show you that was yes, please contact me. So I used all of those emails and reached out to them about the opportunities in the historic Northwest. And then, are you interested in staying up to date? And most people did say yes, so we kept them in touch with our newsletter. And the best marketing feedback, they said that they learned most of them from social media and word of mouth. So with that, I just wanted to thank everyone, the CRA board. We had a lot of help for this event, and we really want to strengthen our outreach on that. So if you have any ways that you would like to partner with us, please, my email's on this, so please reach out. We really want to keep growing these events and telling people about the wonderful things the CRA is doing. So with that, thanks to Greg Dillard with Grape Seeker, we have event video that we would like to show. Uh-oh.
Today we're having our 7th annual Winter in Paradise. 7 years.
Winter in Paradise is a fantastic event that we're having here at Heart and Soul Park tonight. We started off with a marching band from the Palm Beach Lakes High School, and we kicked it off with lots of fun activities. We have skating, we have music, we have food. It's a great opportunity for the community to come together and enjoy each other and just enjoy this beautiful park.
The more events that you have out here, the more people be intrigued and want to find out, where the park come from, where the themes come from, instruments and stuff like that. They'll want to know.
So this evening it is at the Winter in Paradise here in the historic Northwest, and I'm super excited to be a part of this event again. And the kids are enjoying themselves, having fun, having a good time. The families are enjoying themselves, and I love it.
When my late wife and I started our business almost 8 years ago, we had a dream to be in the Black community. And we weren't sure how we were going to get there. We had some starts and stops, and then I was presented this opportunity. And I thought, here it is, because I get a chance to fulfill that dream and that legacy. And it's important for us to be here because we know what this area used to be. It used to be tremendous. And it used to be pride and excellence. And it's not that yet, but we want to be part of helping it become there.
Involving the community is the center. It's like the core, because that's where your development comes from. That's what we're supposed to be doing. That's how you commute. That's how you basically form communities, by having their input. If you just basically put something together and give it to somebody, you don't know if that's their taste. You don't know if that's going to work out. But if you get different perspectives, see what they like, see what they need, and put that formula together, you develop something pretty cool and pretty awesome. And that's what I think the CRA has done over the years, is by getting the input of the community, seeing what the need is, seeing what's missing, and adding it back in, you're starting to see things develop, and you're starting to see a great response from the community. So it's key, and it's important.
They definitely going to bring everybody in the neighborhood out, because everybody wants to see what's going on, want to see who's out there. They want to interact with the other kids that they probably go to school with in the area.
Anytime that you see the neighborhood looking beautified and people coming together around it to, again, have a good time, be positive, those are definite successes. And they always help to the
betterment of the neighborhood.
This event is also giving us the opportunity to gather data from the neighbors and collect the ideas that they have and what they'd like to see in the future for the historic Northwest and the Heart and Soul Park. So it's a great opportunity for us to hear directly from neighbors and to help incorporate all of their ideas into the future planning that we have on deck.
The city has met their commitment in regard to partnering with us to support us as a small business, to support us as a member of the community. We want to do a good job. We've been received well and we've been promoted, and that's exactly what you want as a small business owner.
This is a tremendous opportunity, and it's not easy. And I've learned that nothing worthwhile is easy.
My experience, I don't know about other cities, but we got the best CRA in the world as far as I'm concerned.
And I feel very supported by the CRA, the city, the packaging, the grants, the patience. It's not perfect, but it's been wonderful. It has helped my family and I achieve something that was it was an idea, but you guys made that idea a reality, and I really appreciate that. We wanted to be owners and not renters, and we get to be owners, and I appreciate that.
No way I could be successful to this point, going into another phase of the business without y'all. I couldn't, and that I hope other business owners can hear this and they can trust my words and partner with you guys like I do.
I appreciate the CRA. I appreciate the city of West Palm for giving businesses a try, local businesses, Black-owned businesses a try. Just starting out entrepreneurs, I thank you guys for giving us an opportunity to bring forth our creativity, bring forth our professionalism, and I'm glad that you allow us to be ourselves business side and resident side. So I enjoy that in the city of West Palm Beach, I can bring both of those sides out, and I live here and I enjoy the events we have, and I'm glad that once again the community is coming together, having safe, clean fun.
I'm excited for the Sunset Lounge. I can't wait for that to open. I'm excited about more businesses coming in as well. It's just seeing the sticks and the progress that we've made and the businesses coming.
Thank you, Greg. And with that, I will leave you on save the date for Barbecue Brews and Blues, Saturday, June 29th. We'll be at Heart and Soul Park. Hope to see you all there. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you for that presentation. Any comments, questions? President Warren, Commissioner Fox, Commissioner Lambert.
Thank you very much, Nancy, for that great presentation. If you can go to the slide that shows the graphs for the people that have attended the events.
Which one?
The Winter in Paradise statistics.
Okay, so I have two here. So there were two parts.
The part that shows the internal participation at Winter in Paradise and also the Barbecue Blues and Brews. I think that was a bar graph.
Okay. I didn't include the bar that include the Barbecue Brews and Blues. It was just an observation I had. But here are two graphs here that we got from the surveys.
Could we get somebody to put it on our screen, please? There we go.
So what I'd like to say about this is I'm very happy that there are events that are taking place that bring the community out to celebrate community. We've been looking forward to that type of engagement and activity for a very long time, and we've wanted our residents to know that they live in a great place, and to see that they've come out and have enjoyed being in the Northwest neighborhood is a win, and I'm looking forward to that continuing to grow. And as someone that was a part of the Barbecue Blues and Brews from the concept of it, we as business owners, I started a business in the historic Northwest at City Side Suites about 14 years ago when they opened, and we continued to come down to the city and continued to meet with the CRA and wanted to see opportunities to bring people from outside of the community into the community, because we knew as business owners that the community itself could not be self-sustainable and that it would require people in the community and people outside of the community to support the businesses that could hire people from within the Northwest neighborhood. So I'm very happy to see that there was a positive impact, and that there are so many people that came and so many people that saw the proximity of the Northwest neighborhood to our downtown, that saw the opportunity and the potential that exists in the Northwest neighborhood. I think that that's what we're here to do as a CRA, to make sure that people understand that there are opportunities, that there are businesses, that there are partnerships, and that when we have our businesses step forward and say that working with the city and working with the CRA has been meaningful to their business, I think that that says a lot about the group that you see before you, about the leadership of the CRA, and about the businesses that have been able to withstand all of the challenges that have existed, as well as embracing the new businesses that have come into the Northwest neighborhood. This is all very positive. Thank you very much for sharing this information, Nancy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Fox?
Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you all for your help. Ansley, you did a fantastic job. I loved every minute. Walking in the parade route, starting in the square. I think people were popping in that had no idea what it was. They just loved the idea that there was a parade walking by. I think we introduced a lot of new people to the neighborhood that were just excited to be part of the whole evening, and it looked beautiful. The lights were perfect. Everything was fantastic. Greg, the video is amazing. I think I was like crying my eyes out when I saw Craig Glover. So luckily we had Greg Eaton in there to like have some comic relief. But I just think, it's fantastic to hear about the growth. I could see it. It was just so many families having a fantastic time. And I know that we'll just continue to grow. And on that, I just wanted to ask if there is any idea about when Eaton Cakes will be opening, because I have seen some posts on his social media that says it's coming soon, but just curious if there's any movement on that.
Gina Baker, project manager, can help answer.
Thanks.
Good afternoon, members of the board. Eaton Cake is underway. We are actually building the space out as we speak. We're hoping that we'll have a TCO, or substantial completion, probably in the next 45 days or so. Yeah.
Commissioner Lambert?
Thank you so much for this video. It was really wonderful to watch, and I'm sorry I couldn't make it due to a family obligation that night, but I remember it was only a few years ago that I was on my way to this event, and I took an Uber there, and I specifically remember the Uber driver saying, "Ma'am, are you sure that's where you want to go?" And now to see how it's thriving, how beautiful it is there, I am so proud. And I'd like to find that Uber driver again and say, look what we did here. But I told him, yes, this is where I want to go, and you've got to give this a shot here. And, what really struck me about that video was all of the testimonials from the business owners and from the residents. And Tijuana Teal was one of those residents who a few years ago sat at this podium and said, let me partner with you on helping to turn this around. And I'm just so proud of the work that we've all done here, this board, the CRA staff, and the city. So I just wanted to say thank you to my colleagues and to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Agree 100%.
Any other comments? Okay, thank you again for that presentation.
Thank you.
Item 7.1, resolution number 24-5, approving a term sheet between the Community Redevelopment Agency and Rose Trolley LLC for the purchase and sale of a two-story mixed-use building to be constructed by the CRA at 800 North Tamarind Avenue.
Good evening, Mayor, board members. This item that I'm going to present tonight is another example of how we are making progress in the neighborhood and attracting new businesses and engaging minorities in the community and giving them opportunities to flourish. Just a little bit background about this item. Last year, actually in the 2022, the board approved a notice of disposition for a CRA-owned lot located at 800 North Tamarind Avenue. The lot is basically on the northeast corner of Tamarind Avenue and 7th Street. It's a prime location within the neighborhood, and it's owned by the city, the CRA. It's only 0.13 acres, and it's currently vacant. However, it was acquired by the CRA in 2010 and remained vacant, waiting for some redevelopment to happen. So the notice of disposition was issued. And we received one specific proposal from Rose Trolley to include a transportation use office on the ground floor of this building. So last year in February, the board approved Resolution 23-3, authorizing the staff to negotiate a purchase and sale agreement with Rose Trolley to basically proceed with the construction of a building and have a new building at this location. So since that, we have been working with architects on having a conceptual design for this. We discussed it with Rose Trolley as what will be the building that will accommodate the transportation use facility. That was the intent original of the use. So the idea was that they will put their offices for Rose Trolley on this location. However, to maximize the size and the importance, we end up with a proposal that includes actually a 2-story building that has the ground floor, has 1,650 square feet of commercial space that will accommodate the Rose Trolley offices and probably the possibility of other 2 businesses to be located in there. And then a 2nd story that will include 6 units. And some parking spaces to comply with the code requirements for the use. The idea was, and this is a preliminary image, again, these are very preliminary images, but the intention is to have not only the commercial use on the ground floor, but allow some residential units, affordable residential units on the 2nd floor. So the term sheet basically includes the CRA will build the building as it was done with the Sticks project. So we will incur all the costs to build the building. And then once this is completed, it will be sold to the Rose Trolley group. The sale price will be determined according with 2 items. Basically, the first one is the provision of the affordable housing units. So the ultimate sales price will be discounted due to the provision of affordable housing units. And the second one, it will be a discount based on the location of the Rose Trolley on the building. For the affordable housing, the project, as I say, includes 6 residential units that will be for rent. They will be restricted to a maximum 80% of the AMI, according to the Florida Housing Finance Corporation standards or the maximum prices. And the rent will be restricted for 20 years starting when the building is completed and receives CO. The table that it's on the screen is to show you a comparison between what the market rates are right now and what the rent price will be. This is for just this year, so when the building is done, we will basically calculate the exact price and the rent will be based on the year according with the Florida Housing Finance Corporation. So if you've seen here, I just pulled this morning actually the rent prices from the grant. These are the market rate units for 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom units. Then the second column is small multifamily units in the Northwest. These ones will be more comparable to what the project will be because it's a small building. It does not include any type of amenities, so these will be similar. So these will be kind of the market rate that we will use to calculate what is the subsidy that is provided for these rents. And then the third column includes the maximum rent that will be allowed to be charged based on the 2023. So that's the difference between that. I just wanted to show you the difference and how it compares. So the units that will be provided will be basically at the prices on the third column. The second incentive that is offered for this project is to basically locate the offices of the Rose Trolley on the building, and this is to honor the decision that was made under the Sticks process and how Rose Trolley was selected. So we'll offer 30% discount of the construction cost and will be calculated, basically, it will be a little bit tricky, but it will be calculated the construction cost of the commercial portion of the building, and that's where the 30% will be discounted. So based on those 2 incentives, we have calculated an estimated, very, very preliminary construction cost for this project, and then what will be the incentives offer. So at this point, the construction cost, and again, it's very preliminary because this is not even close to having any good estimates, but it's $3.4 million to build this 2-story building. With the commercial use on the residential units above. And then with the incentives offering, based again on the current numbers and the incentives, will be $717,000 incentive that will be discounted for the provision of the affordable housing units, and then $467,000 discounted for the commercial use. So that will end up on an approximately $2.3 million for the purchase price for the building. So This, again, it's an estimate. So if approved, what we will do is advance the project design, basically take these conceptuals and engage the architectural services to develop the entire project and build construction documents. Once the construction documents are completed, we will proceed to get an opinion of probable cost and have more accurate numbers. With that, we will bring back a purchase and sale agreement in front of the board for approval. Most likely, the ultimate price will not be finalized until we get the bid for construction. So it will be a kind of a second step in there. But we will bring in front of you the final terms of what will be the cost of the project and the terms of the units at that point. That's basically what we have to present today. Staff recommends approval of Resolution 24-5, approving the term sheet between the CRA and Rose Trolley, LLC. This project supports the redevelopment of the Tamarind Avenue corridor and also creates spaces to attract new businesses into the neighborhood. It also provides affordable housing units within the Northwest neighborhood. All of these in support of implementation Goal 4 and 8 of the strategic finance plans of the Northwest neighborhood. That concludes the staff presentation. Two representatives from Rose Trolley are in here if you have any questions or if they want to say any words.
Thank you for that presentation, Ms. Aponte. Any questions, comments for staff? Commissioner Peduzzi and then Commissioner Ward.
Thank you, and I apologize if I missed this in the backup, but does Rose Trolley have a commitment for a commercial loan mortgage in place? Just because it's still a lot of money at $2.3 million asking price, and I know that commercial mortgages for that much sometimes are difficult to obtain.
Yeah, they did. They provided a letter from the bank stating that they have the financial support to do it. They will basically finance a portion and then bring into the table some equity.
Thank you.
Commissioner Ward.
That was going to be my question as well, but as a follow-up, so they're taking the entire building and then we're attaching restrictive covenants on the second floor as far as who they can rent to?
Yes, it will be an agreement similar to what we have done with other projects like the grant. There will be an agreement for the affordable housing component that will specify who they can rent the units to, at what prices, and how they have to provide certain information to the city to verify that they are doing the rentals to the right people.
Okay, and follow-up?
Yes.
You know, you had studio in there, and if we do go with micro units, is there another level lower than a studio for a micro unit that we price out when it comes to, market versus 80% AMI?
What we do is the table, it basically has a studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedrooms, the Florida Housing Finance Corporation. So the studios is what we use for the smaller unit that doesn't have a separate bedroom. Mm-hmm. So it will be micro, or even if it is a small unit that doesn't have a separate bedroom.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for staff? Does anyone want to hear from the Rose Trolley representative since they're here? Ms. Rich?
Good evening to the mayor and to all the city commissioners. My brother said he didn't want me to cry, so I'm not going to cry.
Can you state your name for the record without
Rich.
crying, please?
Tanya Rich, 800 North Tamarind Avenue, West Palm Beach, Florida. First, I just want to thank the city for not only believing in us, but giving us a chance to prove to you and to prove to our communities that we are able to do this transportation and really make it work, and we're doing very well. To the CRA, to Chris Rugg and Miss Anna and the whole team, thank you so much for keeping your promise. Thank you for coming back with us, and we went back and forth for a while, but we are here now. We just want to let you know that just keep believing in us, just keep us in your prayers, and just know that we are here with you, and we are part of the historic Northwest in the city of West Palm Beach. Thank you so much.
You almost did it. Okay, any other questions? Commissioner Fox?
Thank you. I know I'm going to try not to cry too, but the first time I met the Rose Trolley team, it was probably almost 4 years ago when I was first a commissioner, and they called about some issues they were having in Roosevelt Estates, and they asked if I could come walk with the neighbors and look at their issues. And I think 4 or 5 hours later, I was just blown away by the advocacy that they are doing for the neighborhood. But then it was shortly after that I was driving down Palm Beach Lakes, and I saw them out picking up trash. And shortly after that, I saw them delivering food to their senior neighbors that were homebound. And shortly after that, I was seeing them at CRA meetings where They were talking about the need for transportation in the neighborhood, and also that they were in the military, they're firefighters, they're just doing so much for our community. It's amazing that there is one family that could be spending so much time giving of themselves and service to our city. So I just am so happy that we are able to help them in some way and to honor our commitment that we all unanimously chose them to be part of the Styx Promenade. And that didn't work out, but I think that this is going to be even a better spot for the transportation. It's going to be fantastic that we're going to be having additional micro units to offer, which is so needed at this time. So I thank you, Rose Trolley team, and thank you to the CRA for finding out a way to make this a reality. That's all. Thank you.
Commissioner, do you want to make a motion?
Mayor, I would love to make a motion to approve resolution number 24-5.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and second. Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, like sign. Hearing no opposition, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Congratulations, Rose Trolley. We look forward to working with you. Item 7.2, resolution number 24-6, approving an interlocal funding agreement between the Community Redevelopment Agency and the City of West Palm Beach, providing funding for the design work associated with the extension of Fern Street across the CSX Railroad, and resolution number 24-7F, authorizing the appropriation or transfer of $300,000 in fiscal year 2023-2024 for the design work associated with the extension of Fern Street across the CSX Railroad. Mr. Ponte?
Good evening. This one is another one that we have been working for a while with the city. So the city has been working with actually FDOT and SFRTA for some years now to try to make the connection of Fern Street across the railroad tracks to the Australian side happen. So last September of 23, the city approved resolution 214-23, authorizing the stipulation of parties with FDOT and SFRTA that defines the cost responsibilities for the design and construction costs associated with the crossing closures and the opening of Fern Street that was negotiated. Today at the City Commission, you will see an amendment to this SOP that clarifies what are the responsibilities. And basically, the summary is that in order for us to open Fern Street, the FDOT and SFRTA are requiring the city to do 2 closures and 1 partial closure. So all this is packaged into one agreement that will allow us to happen. So the involvement of this from the CRA perspective is the CRA had in front of you is an interlocal agreement that will provide funds from the CRA to support the design of the road and closure at Fern Street. So the strategic finance plan of the CRA has had this as a goal for several years, and funds were allocated in this fiscal year to provide an initial funding for the design. So we'll provide $300,000 in funding for this initial design work that is associated specifically with Fern Street. So the design of the road, as I said, and the crossing across the tracks. Additional funding will have to be allocated from the city for the closure of the other streets and the Okeechobee, because those are not located within the CRA districts. But that's in essence it. Staff recommends approval of Resolution 24-6 and Resolution 24-7F, approving an interlocal agreement between the city and the CRA to provide the $300,000 for initial design costs associated with the design of the road and crossing to extend Fern Street. A companion item will be presented at the City Commission for approval tonight, and Kevin Bovright is here from the engineer department if you have any technical questions about what's happened.
Very good. Thank you for that presentation. Any questions? Commissioner Fox?
Thank you. I'm so excited to see this moving forward. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about the timeline. I know that this is just the design phase, but is there any anticipated, I guess, timeline for the design and then
yes, Mr.
moving forward after the design? Thank you.
Yes, good evening, Commissioners and Mayor. The timeline we expect...
Kevin, state your name for the record.
My name's Kevin Volbrecht. I'm the Director of the Engineering Services Department for the city. We are going to enter into this agreement with FDOT and SFRTA. We would expect that they're going to bring on a consultant to start the design work probably in the next 2 to 3 months after this agreement is executed. And then over the course of the time that will take for the design to happen, the overall project has got a slated time frame of about 5 years for it to be completed. It's going to need to be completed within 5 years once the final agreement with FDOT is executed. And that will be forthcoming after we do this first design effort. And then they'll provide us with another revised SOP that we'll bring back to the commission for approval of, and then we'll go forward with it. So.
Very good. Thank you. Commissioner Lambert?
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Fox. I had that same question. And I just want to underscore how important this is to our community. I think that it will be a significant opportunity to divert traffic from the main thoroughfares and be able to offer an alternative route for our residents and for our visitors coming from Tri-Rail, from Brightline. So anything we can do to expedite this process. I realize that there's a lot of moving parts in this, but think that this is a very important project. Thank you.
Not the least of which we have to find the money. But it will be done. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 24-6 and resolution number 24-7F.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like sign. Hearing no opposition, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. And that is the final item on this agenda, so I hereby adjourn the meeting of the CRA.